Hello, beautiful Capricorn friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. That is me. I'm so happy to have all the Capricorns up in the house with me. Welcome. However you resonate with that sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Typically, this is when I start prepping for my general monthly readings for the upcoming month, but I just kind of felt pushed to do love readings. I think given everything that's kind of going on globally right now, we're all looking for messages of optimism and positivity. And so, yeah, I think at very minimum, while we're all at home being quarantined, maybe this can serve as, some entertainment for you, but hopefully there's lots of important messages that you can take away. So yes, if you're not ready to hear messages about love and romance, then this might not be the video for you. But yeah, if you're in that mode where you're like, sure, give it to me. We'll see what I can get for all my Capricorns in love and romance. I almost said love and marriage, like that Frank Sinatra song. So maybe we'll see what's in the cards here. All right, so for my beautiful Capricorn friends, what do they need to know about love? As always, guys, you know my spiel here on YouTube. I do general messages. Not everything I say will resonate with all the Capricorns out there. It's up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. I ask that you only take away the messages that resonate with you, that serve you in some capacity, motivate you, inspire you, illuminate you to something new, or confirm something you needed to hear. If anything feels strange or foreign, drop it like it's hot. That means it's a message for someone else, in which case you can move about your day. Everything else written below in the description box for you, including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media. Again, I do want to acknowledge that it's a weird time right now, so I am sending love and light and peace and all that good higher vibration out to those who need it. But I think now more than ever, we are being called to do or participate in activities that bring us joy. So for me, it's doing tarot readings. I love doing this, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to do this from home. So yeah, I'm participating in an activity that brings me light and joy and fun. So I would encourage you to do the same this week wherever you can. Let's hop in. My little spiel. All right, so your energy, Page of Wands. I heard curious, curiosity. Sometimes this is someone who wants to go on an adventure, who wants to explore more territory. So maybe you're looking to take something to the next level because it is a page. It's not brand new. It's something you're still sort of gathering facts on. There's like a bit of mystery or inquisitive inquiry of whatever it is you're looking at. So that's sort of your energy. Where are you at mentally? Interesting. So mentally, you're sort of all over the place. Sometimes you're this way, sometimes you're that way. Before I hop in too much more, I actually want to clarify this. What is Capricorn looking at here? As the Page of Wands, something has excited you or lit your fire. Something, again, has piqued your curiosity, your intrigue. Judgment. All right, so potentially going back to someone from the past, though it doesn't have to be. Before you close out some sort of cycle in your life, yeah, it's going back over the, I want to say documents, going back over the evidence to make sure you're making the right judgment call. So for one or two of you, maybe you're divorcing someone, specifically a fire sign. And then you have the Four of Swords. Okay. Yeah, so you are seeking to get to a point where you are... peace of mind is what's coming through with Four of Swords. It's like mental rest, not being stuck in this crazy head game. Mentally, that's where you're currently at. That's what's coming up in like the head sector, or again, where your mind is at. Sometimes it can be the communication sector, but you're desiring peace of mind and intrigue. Or I'm sorry, you're desiring peace of mind, but you have intrigue about something from the past. So that's sort of actually what this could be indicating too. With the Five of Swords, quite clearly, he's facing forward, but he's looking back, he or she, right? So before you can move on to the Six of Swords, which is all about moving on with wisdom, with clarity, moving on and no strings attached, I think there's going to be something that you're revisiting in the past that you just can't seem to pull yourself away from. It could have been an argument that you felt was never settled properly, that maybe there's still a little bit of bad blood there, in which case I think you're going back to make peace out of the situation. It's like you want both parties to have peace of mind about what occurred. You might be dealing with someone who's an artist or a musician, or someone you got into some sort of... someone you either signed a contract with or got into some business deal with. I don't know what this has to do with romance, but I'm reading the cards as they're presenting here. So something about a contract or a document that you signed. Again, for some of you, it's a marriage contract, and maybe you divorced. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sensing, like, for all of you, mushy-gushy feelings there, because the swords are generally very cold. Fives are all about change and chaos and kind of weathering the storm, literally, right, with those gray clouds. But it's almost like you're wanting to sweep away the gray clouds so that you can finally let the sunshine in. I think you're done lingering in this state of like ambivalence. Am I ready to move on? There's something I feel like it is calling me back. And that's what judgment is too. It's being able to like tie something up in a cute little bow and move on from it so that it's not weighing on you mentally anymore. It could also, something about like yoga class. I don't know what that has to do with this, but maybe one or two of you or whatever work as a yoga instructor or a fitness instructor. Maybe it had something to do with a contract like that. That could be what your person does, right? There's a few things coming through there. Could also be someone who works with children. I don't know. I don't really know. A lot of this does seem very work focused. So I'm trying to read for love, but ultimately the messages come out, the way they want to. Why is Five of Swords coming up in Capricorn's mental energy, in their headspace? Again, an inability to fully move on from the past. I think you're working on it. I think you're trying to move past it, but it could just be that a conversation needs to be had to clear the air. Potentially an apology or saying what you always needed to say, but you never felt like you could. It seems like the tides are changing, or however you want to say it, the new cycle is coming in where you're going to feel liberated once you're able to finally speak your mind. And yeah, for a lot of you, you refrained, you held back from saying something because at the time you didn't feel well informed enough, or however you want to phrase it. You may not have had the confidence to say what you actually wanted to say. I think the time is coming because it's been weighing on your mind long enough where it's like you need to give yourself the gift of freedom, freeing yourself from these difficult negative thoughts, even pessimism. Misfortune. All right, interesting. Yeah, okay, so you may have had a difficult relationship or a situation with someone who, this may have to do with, in light of the recent events globally, someone who's not doing great. And I don't predict death on my channel or anything like that, but somebody could have broken their leg, right? But it could be more severe. Somebody could have lost their job. Somebody could be sick with the flu or something like that. And I think it's actually making you think to the past. And I don't know if sentimental is the right term, but there is a sense of regret on maybe I shouldn't have done that, or the opposite. Maybe I should have said that thing that I always wanted to say. And it does kind of seem like your person is going through a difficult time. You might be dealing with a Libra because I said something similar to them. So you're wanting to revisit it and make something right. It could be a fire sign you're dealing with, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Whoa, too many cards. Yeah, I think you're trying to establish a friendship again, to reconnect with that person. And again, it's not for everybody. If this resonates for you and you're like, I hate them, I never want to see them again, it's not your message then. Because yeah, what you're looking back at is a friend. It could also be someone you put in the friend zone and then you've come to realize that they actually mean a lot more to you and you wish you had given them the time of day, or you wish you had given them more of your time, more communication with sword energy coming through. I don't know why I'm being called to shuffle these the way this is. The widower and a surprise. This person may, that you're thinking about from the past, they may have lost somebody very close to them, like a parent or a grandparent recently. And yeah, it could have been someone you dated very casually, or maybe you dated for a couple months, maybe a couple years, but it would have been, I want to say, like years back. And yeah, I do sort of get that it's pulling at your heartstrings a little bit. With this card, it's like I think you're curious. You may be spying on them on social media. There's something about needing to revisit the past so that you can move on with peace of mind. So you're not living with any sort of regret, no resentment, no feeling of guilt, of shame, whatever that is. So your mind is very clouded. There's a lot going on, but I think whatever you're looking at, you're actually looking at it with very good intentions of, out of a misfortunate situation, trying to make the best of it, being a good friend to someone. And maybe they weren't always a good friend to you, right? Maybe rightfully so, you needed to distance yourself from them, but there's a returning with judgment, absolutely. And the Five of Swords, looking back. Emotionally, where are you at with this person? Interesting. So the Hermit mode. So a lot of single people out there with the Hermit mode. Emotionally, you're more focused on your faith and spirituality right now. I mean, obviously he's depicted as like Father Time, the old man. This isn't my most like racy sexual card, right? You're trying to offer healing more than anything, which is sort of an emotion in itself. We think of the idea of like cups and water being very healing. Yeah, I sort of, someone, this might not be you, it might be your person, or it might be both of you. I'm hearing the phrase like being shown the error of your way. I think something about being very sentimental right now and looking back of all the people you've encountered in your life and looking back on like relationships, love relationships, family relationships. I think you're just older and you're wiser. You've learned some valuable lessons as you've gone off to discover, different facets of your life. There's very much an element of you being in reflecting on the past, and that I think is sort of the epiphany of what spawns an epiphany that spawns this idea for you to go back and visit someone from the past. It could be a Virgo because it's showing up in your emotional sector. This might be saying, oh yeah, remember that Virgo I care so much about? Maybe it's time to like shed some light on that. Maybe it's time to offer like my star, my light, my healing energy, if you're a light worker, right? To go back and revisit that. So yeah, because some of my Capricorns definitely are still holding space in their heart for a Virgo. But if it's not a Virgo, and again, you're thinking of returning to someone from the past, I'm not necessarily sensing lusty vibes. It's more going back to make something right and be like, so we're cool now, right? We're friends. Okay, cool. We're friends. You need that peace of mind to make sure you're not on someone's hit list, essentially, right? And I joke, I kid. I don't mean that literally, but why is Capricorn holding the Hermit in their emotional sector? You're trying to be very wise and intelligent with your emotions, but yeah, you're making an emotional offer to someone, right? It doesn't have to be romantic. For some of you, it absolutely could, but it's a page. So, it's not the King of Cups. It's not like, the 10 of Cups, or it's not even the 2 of Cups. With the page, the page is frequently to me a need to be a little bit more vulnerable, to not be so distant and maybe icy or chilly to people. It's opening up slowly but surely. This could have been someone that you had children with in the past, but the Page of Cups, the Page of Hats in this deck, it's the same. The Page of Cups, the Page of Hats. It might be offering an apology, Capricorn. Your energy. All right, so what is the action you're taking? The Sun card. All right, that's a beautiful card. It did come up in reverse, so I'm not sure if that's important to note. The sun has gone to bed and so must I. I just heard that line from The Sound of Music. That's the cutest little scene with the little girl on the steps. The sun has gone to bed and so must I. What is that about? It might be about putting something to rest with a Leo. If you've struggled with your relationship specifically with a Leo, again, it's like putting it to rest, putting it to bed once and for all. It could also indicate if your person has lost someone in their life, and I'm not predicting this again, you would already know if this was your story. It may have been a Leo that they lost. One or both of you may have lost a Leo that was very important or significant in your life. And it's something about that might be the main motivator for you two reuniting or reconnecting, or again, just kind of improving the conversation between you two. Too many cards, I'm not going to take them. Clarify the sun. Why is the sun coming up here in Capricorn spread? For a long time, somebody went dark on someone. That term, they went dark on me. It's like they ghosted me, or they shut me off from communication. It's almost like you guys have been in the darkness, in the dark state. And it's something about the sun is rising again, and it's illuminating some sort of heavy truth about the misfortune that occurred between you guys. The Nine of Wands, the wounded warrior. Yeah, because somebody was wounded in this scenario, whether it was emotional or mental or even physical, right? It's possible you may be dealing with someone who actually has like a physical handicap, even if it's just like, like a limp or something like that. This person also could have fought overseas, fought in war on the battlefield. And again, it's something about, because just given the atmosphere of what's going on right now, we got to be obvious about it, right? The whole Corona thing. I'm trying to avoid that message, but it's kind of coming through. It is making us realize what's important in our lives right now. And ultimately what's important is people. It's us. It's that human connection. It's empathy, compassion. It's bringing people together. Even if you can't do it physically in the space, it's reaching out to people and making sure that they're okay. And I think that's what's happening. Excuse me. I think people are in a state of mind that is actually very positive. People have no choice but to raise their vibration and be optimistic, and check on others that we love in our networks and our groups of friends and our family, and making sure that, hey, are you okay? You're searching for someone from your past. This could even be someone that you've lost contact with. You don't have their current phone number. And so, again, I was saying you might be looking them up on social media. Yeah, it's like you're in a search for someone from your past. Again, a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is coming up very strongly here. So not for all of you, but interesting. This could have been someone that you walked away from and you didn't do it in the highest vibration. Again, this would have been years ago. I'm not saying you like snuck out the door and never told them, or do you know what I mean? But you may have left them in a way that was very unfinished. They may have not seen it coming or not anticipated it. And so when it was over, they almost thought that the door was still open for you guys to connect. But no, like I think you fled. I think a lot of my Capricorns left. And I heard left at the altar. So I don't think that's literal, maybe for one or two of you, but you may have even been engaged to this person and decided that you weren't ready to go through with the marriage. You weren't ready to commit to that. It could have been somebody found out that they were pregnant, and so it kind of forced this thing of, oh, well, I guess we get married, but you weren't ready for that, Capricorn, or vice versa. It could be your person, but you're absolutely making movements and strides towards reconciliation, reunion, and establishing just like a friendly connection, healing the past. The sunshine is very healing, right? It's good medicine to be out in the sun. It's good for our souls. For some of you, you could have a very distant, troubled relationship with your son, literally your child, if you have a son, right? You might be reconnecting with them as well. So let's take a peek at your person, Capricorn. So they are the Seven of Swords. Yeah, okay, so their energy is presenting. So they could have been the one that fled the marriage or the relationship or whatever this was, but there's an equal sense of, I almost want to say shame or guilt about it. They're very caught up in their head, and in a similar vibe to the Five of Swords of, this is sometimes like what we call like the winning at all costs, but then look, he instantly regrets it, right? These two people are like, head in their hands crying, right? Seven of Swords is that, but it's a little, I hate to say, it's a little more venomous. It's a little bit less considerate, where you don't have that instant like knee-jerk reaction of, oh shit, did I take it too far? The Seven of Swords is a little bit like, peace, I'm out, but it doesn't occur to you until like much later that maybe you should have done something or said something differently. Your person is all caught up in their head. You might be dealing with an air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, though it doesn't have to be. What else can you tell me about this? Specifically, an Aquarius is coming into play here. It's funny, this person may not view you in the highest light because I think you hurt them, but they still think about you. And yeah, they do want some sort of communication. They do think about, like offering up communication or reigniting the flames that were once there. I don't know if that's where you're at. Again, this doesn't really feel passionately romantic to me, but for your person, I think something about they miss being in your arms. You may have had a pet together, and I don't know if they still have that pet. That could be like a cat or a dog that you guys like adopted together, or I don't know, something about the name of their pet. It may have been significant regarding the two of you or something like that. But I mean, they have the swift, rapid action, communication, also a card of Sagittarius, the bows and the arrows in the archer's bow that get sent off. They still have passion for you. It's sort of what I get here, but again, it's very mixed up. Their headspace is all over the place. I want one more for that. It's confusing to me. This person may ride horses or be involved in caring for horses, or, I mean, animals, but I am being drawn to say specifically horses. Surprise. Yeah, this person might reach out to you. That's the irony, is you're thinking about them and they might end up surprising you out of nowhere, that they might reach out randomly out of the clear blue. Because they do have that communication card, forward movement, travel. So let's see where they're at mentally. Mentally, Seven of Pentacles. So they're doing the assessment. This person, okay, this makes sense. This person is probably with someone else right now. I don't necessarily, well, I don't know. It could be marriage for most of you guys. I think your person is probably dating or in a commitment with someone, but they're still not certain that the person they're currently with is the one. Again, I think you share a mutual sense of, should we go back and revisit this thing and make sure there's nothing there? It's almost like so we can understand, oh, okay, no, we're good. Like now we can both peacefully move on. And I do want to say, I think you probably are going to go in separate directions, but it seems like you both are being drawn together. It's almost like the universe is trying to orchestrate this so that you no longer are carrying around, again, the mental baggage or the emotional baggage of what happened in the past. So you can establish like a clean slate and move on. Your person is intrigued by you, but they're also cautious. They're cautious in how they want to approach you. Yeah, because Seven of Swords, again, they don't necessarily trust you. They want to make some sort of offer because at one point in time, they thought you were going to be their soulmate. But you closed your cup off when they were just they were just starting to get interested in you. Or again, if you dated for a while, they were thinking we were going to take it to the next level or we were going to ascend and do something more, but then you withdrew. You took back the offer or you rejected the offer that they were trying to make you. They hold you in very high regard though, but they also don't like the way you handled something. And again, this could go vice versa. They think you hid a lot from them and that you had secrets and that maybe you weren't totally exclusive when they were under the impression that you were. Yeah, you may have also been seeing another water sign at the time, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, and maybe juggling another earth or fire sign too. Anyway, so emotionally, whereas your person, you guys are both like have a lot weighing on your mind. Your mental sectors are like kind of bananas. Emotionally, your person is in the Tower. Okay, yeah, so they're going through it emotionally. This Tower card specifically, it's pretty intense. Again, am getting kind of the message that your person is probably with someone. They probably have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a significant other. But there's something about you always creep up in their mind. Even at times when they're not even trying to think about you or they haven't thought about you for days or weeks. Every now and then you creep up and it's a point of heartbreak for them. It's sort of gut-wrenching. They have like a physiological reaction when they think of you. And it's not bad though. That's the thing. For most of you. It's almost like they get the shivers, but it has something to do with the way they felt when they were with you. They're reminded of both the really good times, the really beautiful times you guys had, but then that quickly transitions, like their mind quickly goes into, yeah, but remember what they did to you, or remember how they rejected you, or remember how... And I don't mean to make you the bad guy in this, in some ways, maybe you had to make that difficult decision to leave because your emotions just weren't there, right? And I don't advocate stringing someone along, but as I do want to return to the fact that they didn't see it coming. That in itself, it was a Tower moment for them when you decided to leave Capricorn. So you still mean a lot to this person, but it feels very unfinished. There's unfinished business here. And I think they're hoping to gain some sort of clarity or insight by revisiting the past and smoothing out any waves with you. You guys may have had a very intense sexual relationship. They're looking for clarity, and I don't even know what to do with this message because I don't necessarily agree with it, but they're wanting to unearth things from the past and ask you the truth. Like, how did you actually feel when we were together? That's sort of what I'm getting. Like, were you actually my friend or were you a foe? It's funny, you have both coming up. In your section, you have friend. In their section, they have foe. So particularly for my cross watchers, I might be speaking to you when I'm saying Capricorn. Like sometimes the roles get reversed here, but there's two different storylines. But yeah, you both kind of don't know what to do with the other one. Friend or foe? Why is foe coming up? Your person may have been English or British or Irish or Scottish, spoken with an accent. Oh, I don't know. That's random. Yeah, particularly Scottish. I don't know. There's something about the idea of every now and then they go to a place in their emotions, in their mind, where they fantasize about what it would be like to get back together with you, but they can't fully allow themselves to believe that that would happen because they do feel like a little bit double crossed by you. They feel like you made a choice that wasn't in the highest vibration. All these cards are coming. Oh, my deck's sort of reversed. Yeah, you kind of took the zest out of the relationship. Again, they saw it as like this thing that it was just like starting to take off. It was just starting to grow. It was like the infancy stage of the relationship, but you withdrew, and again, your person was very confused by this. What started off as being very joyful and merry and celebratory. Again, the sex may have been really great. It's like then you pulled away. You either went solo or into hermit mode, or I don't even think that's when that came in. I think that was later down the road for you, but now you're thinking back on the past, and yet for both of you, there's regret and there's a lack of clarity about what actually happened. I feel like I'm rambling a bit. Anyway, so what is the action your person is taking? Temperance. All right, so you might be dealing with a Sagittarius. Alchemy. I think your person is still interested in rekindling something with you. It's like this time they want to get the recipe correct. So that in metaphor, like, the whatever you're baking, right? Getting the recipe right, it takes off better this time. It tastes better. And this can be a card of healing and medicine as well. One or both of you may work in like a medical profession or work as like a spiritual healer, a nurse, a doctor, something like that. They are focused on loving themselves. That was, okay, so in a higher vibration, you leaving them was actually a crucial time in their life because it was a tower moment in the best possible way. It was a tower moment that came into their life and they had to learn not to be codependent. They had to learn not to value themselves based on the love they're receiving from a romantic partner. It forced them to step up and understand that for periods of their life, they didn't see themselves as worthy, and so they were willing to accept any love. And even so, even when I think you broke it off, potentially, Capricorn, they still held you on a pedestal for the longest time. I think over time, because again, this feels like it was years ago, they've come to realize that your actions weren't necessarily from the most pure place or looking out for their best good. But ultimately, this was fated. It was written in the stars because this person had some very important lessons to learn about loving themselves and also about healing. Something about this relationship may have illuminated to the idea that they are meant to be a healer, a light worker, particularly in terms of faith and spirituality. It might be their job, or they may dabble in something like tarot card reading or reaching out to people to help their emotions. To help them process their emotions and their thoughts, to give them hope and healing. Yeah, so it actually was this beautiful trajectory, though at the time, or possibly still now, there's little aches and pains they get when they think about you. But it actually seems like if you were to reach out, they would absolutely be willing to try and mend the past. I think they see this as something they would still like to explore with you romantically. And I mean, maybe you do too. There's a card of inquiry and curiosity here. But yours, it seems like you are still holding on to some sort of guilt, and it's like you may be wanting to go back to the past to make something right so that you don't have to carry the emotional weight of that anymore. You don't have to carry around the burdens of feeling like something in the past is still at unrest or unsettled. Hold on, I'll throw one more on that. Oh, crap. Too many cards. We'll do this one. One more card. Why is this person coming up as Temperance? Could absolutely be a Sagittarius. Justice. Yeah, they're trying to make the past right. It came up in reverse too. Yeah, they're trying to rebalance the scales. All right, what romance angel cards want to come out in this spread? What romance angels want to come out in this spread for Capricorn's reading? Romance angel cards for Capricorn. All right, well, we got two. Children, your love life is being affected by children. You could have met when you were children or in your teenage years. It does feel like this was long ago. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that, but it just feels that way. You may have even met in school or in college, the term children, loosely, right? Anyway, your person may also have a child as well. Again, possibly with a new person, or they may have started another family, but again, they still think about you. Let your friends help you, ask for and accept support from others. I think that's a good idea because this feels very ambivalent. It's like you don't really know how to fix this or how to go about it, but you both are clearly thinking kind of about the same thing. So yeah, I mean, just for your own sanity, for your own clarity, this might be worth revisiting if you feel like you're at a strong place to do it. If you are spiritually and emotionally strong right now. Yeah, everybody's reaching out to the people they love and care about, right? We're trying to make good on our deeds from the past. All right, zodiac signs that want to come out in Capricorn's reading. Zodiac signs. That one. Zodiac signs that want to come out in, ooh, too many. All right, we'll take those. Oh my goodness. All right, so Cancer wanted to come out. Gemini. Capricorn, so you, but you may be dealing with another Capricorn. Taurus, Libra, and Sagittarius. All right, so Sagittarius, Libra, Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Cancer. That's what I got for you guys. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonates for you, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.